Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of June 17th, and it's another big week in the astrology. In fact, every day of this week has a planetary aspect taking place, if not multiples of them. Lots of movement, and it's also the solstice week. Summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, also known as the Cancer solstice, because this is the time of year where the sun reaches 0 degrees of Cancer, an initiator energy, initiating a new season. And a lot more. So kind of the energy leading us into the week is all about last week's square between Jupiter and Saturn, which is still very much in play. And this is the conflict, the clash, the square, an opportunity to take action with this type of aspect between these two planets that have some differing goals. Jupiter is a big planet that wants to expand everything, and Saturn is a little bit more of a constrictive energy that wants to pull in. Where Jupiter says yes to life, Saturn has said no. And where Jupiter wants to go big, Saturn wants to keep things small. And Jupiter can represent things that are new, wanting to come in, a type of innovative energy, a futuristic energy, like new things. And Saturn stands its ground with the tradition and with the way things have always been. So Jupiter and Saturn go through this type of cycle every 20 years. They come together, have the conjunction that was back on the, very interestingly, the winter solstice of 2020, December 21st, 2020. That's where this 20-year cycle started. So now we've reached the opening square where Jupiter pulls ahead of Saturn, a quicker moving planet, Jupiter, and makes the square. And so then we have an opportunity to look back at that original oath that we made to each other. There's like a pact that takes place. There's a new cycle that gets created and some new goals that get set when two planets come together, and that opening square gives us the opportunity to check in. How are things going since those decisions that were made, those new cycles that were begun on December 21st of 2020? Because now here on the summer solstice of 2025, we have the opening square letting us know, very much itching us. It's like kind of that feeling that something kind of comes back up again. A square, though, is an opportunity to take action. So if, the 2020 goals and aspirations and new dreams and new cycles, that were began, if things aren't going the direction that they needed to go, or the direction that you wanted them to go, now is the time to take some action to straighten things out. And this is going to make it so that as we move forward, these cycles can continue on. So taking action now is the good thing. Where is this clash between the old and the new in your life? This is between Saturn in Aries at 2 degrees of Aries, and Jupiter at 1 to 2 degrees of Cancer. So if you are an Aries or a Cancer, or have lots of Aries or Cancer energy in your chart, chances are you are feeling this very, very strongly. And if you have any other cardinal energies in your chart, initiator energies, those are Libra and Capricorn, then you're going to probably be feeling this strongly also, as all of the cardinal signs, all of the mutable signs, and all of the fixed signs, they feel each other when they're going through these types of stressors. You can consider a square a bit of a stressor. It's a conflict, and it's a moment, it's a challenge for sure. So last week, this week, lots of challenges to, how the old versus the new is coming in, and how we're allowing, this to play out in our lives. Right now, we have most of the planets still moving in a direct fashion. Pluto has stationed retrograde. This was just a few weeks ago. Pluto's the first one of the bunch to station retrograde this time around. So we've got, I think, close to another month or so of all the rest of the planets in a direct fashion. But come the end of June and the beginning of July, the energy starts to change. So again, this moment is the direct moving time. This is the time to take action and move forward, because when the planets start to retrograde and move backwards, we have different jobs to do. The energy needs to go in reverse, and we need to go back and fix things. So right now, we take steps forward, and come all those retrogrades in a few months, we'll be feeling a totally different way. We're not going to be wanting to move forward and take steps in new directions. We're going to be wanting to kind of clean up things that we've already been up to. So take action now. That's the astrological energy that can support you there. And this week is very dynamic. June and July are very dynamic in a lot of ways, because we do have this shift from the direct moving to the retrograde. We also have these major key planets, the outer planets, including Uranus. Uranus is going to move out of Taurus soon into Gemini. And we already had Pluto at the beginning of this year move into Aquarius. We already had Saturn and Neptune move into Aries. New signs, these planets move slowly. So when they move into new signs, it is a sign, to move forward and to allow these new cycles to come in. And so this month really is going to be changing of the energies for 2025. And this week in particular is a week of adjustment, in my opinion, and a week of really getting settled in. And it is a week, or the last couple of weeks, of a little bit of a reality check, also with Saturn being involved, being in a conjunction with Neptune at the first degrees of Aries. The dreams and the reality are coming together to try and create this cycle for the future. And so this week also, with the summer solstice, we have the imprint of this energy on the next 3 months, because we look at the chart for the summer solstice, and all of these aspects are in play. And today, on the day I'm giving this report, June 17th, Mars has moved into a new sign. Mars spends about 2 months in each sign, was in Leo for an extended period of time, though, because we did perform a retrograde with Mars in Leo. And so we've been feeling the fired up aspects of the physical planet of Mars. This is our physical body. This is also our warrior spirit and how we take action in the world. And when Mars is moving through a sign, when any planet is moving through a sign, they're sort of under the influence, of the qualities of that sign. So Mars in Leo has been a fighter. It's been a little aggressive. It's been a little dramatic, but it's also been very heart-centered. And we know now, after all that time with Mars and Leo, we know what we are passionate about. We know what gives us that inner fire and what makes us burn from the inside out. And so Mars and Leo is a heart-centered place, but it's also it's fire on fire. So Leo, being a fire sign, really gets that that fiery planet of Mars taking action and fighting for these things that we're passionate about. Now Mars has moved into Virgo. It's a very different energy. Virgo's an earth sign, so we get grounded and we slow down quite a bit. There is a slowness to earth signs and a quickness to fire signs. So it's going to be an adjustment. We have been taking a lot of quick action, being very instinctual with with getting connected to our physical body and how we're performing on a daily basis within our body. And now in Virgo, it's a slower energy. We're going to slow it down. We're going to make a to-do list because we are organizers when we get into Virgo. We want to make sure that we can purify things and detox things here too. This is a great place to do physical cleanses. You know, if you've already wanted to do the cayenne lemon cleanse or whichever it is, you know, the juices and the things that we can use to clean out our internal systems and to clean out our bodies, just drinking a tons of water just to try and detox and purify the physical body, I think is going to be pretty important to us as Mars is moving through Virgo the next couple of months. And then on June 18th, we have Jupiter in a square with Neptune. And this is because Jupiter is in a square with Saturn already, and Saturn is conjunct with Neptune. So basically, we have Jupiter still in this very active square with Saturn and Neptune involved. And Neptune is a dreamer. And so Neptune is where we hold our hopes and our dreams and our desires. And Neptune has just moved out of Pisces into Aries, a new initiator sign, taking steps to make these dreams come true and making some decisions on maybe even which dreams to kind of follow through with, as we can get lost in a lot of dreaminess a lot of time in Pisces. It's a very artistic, creative energy, and it's a beautiful place for Neptune because actually rules the sign of Pisces. So we get that overload of dreaminess and intuition and connection to source. And now we bring it into Aries, we light it on fire, and we take some steps to move forward on those things that we dreamed about. Saturn and Neptune together, as I mentioned, it can be conflictive. There is the reality check that Saturn brings. Saturn is a rationalistic energy, wants to make sure that we are seeing things for the reality that it has. And then Neptune being the dreamer, you know, this is blurring the lines of reality a bit here. And so this is a time period also that I think we need to take some care to let Mars and Virgo slow us down a little bit, because we have some of these big dreams and we're still trying to tweak them and figure out how to pull them down out of Pisces into Aries reality. And then once we can get adjusted to these new beginnings, to the way that we're going to take action on these dreams, then the initiator energy of Aries is going to be able to be confident and bold and step forward and allow those things to be manifested. So this is a very, very strong energy because the sun is coming through into the 0-degree point of Cancer, going to be slowly creeping up on the squares between Saturn and Neptune here, and the sun in a conjunction with Jupiter. So I know that's a lot, but it is a lot. It's big energies, and the sun and Jupiter, when they make their yearly conjunction, is a time for blessings. It is a time for Jupiter to rain down the good luck and the blessings and the gifts. And so this is amazing and beautiful that right here at the summer solstice, we get the conjunction between the sun and Jupiter. And it just says to me that these next few months, this next season, we get this imprint of the chart on the summer season here, the next few months. And it's just going to be raining of the gifts and the pleasurable things. And it's a really, really great time to lean into the faith and the wisdom that the universe has to offer. Jupiter is about wisdom, and it's about having a connection to that higher knowledge. And so it's almost similar to Neptune, where it has that connection to source. Jupiter has that connection to source also. It's a very intuitive also. Jupiter actually is the traditional ruler of Pisces. So very connected to that, that idea of blowing things up to where they almost don't, you can't really see the details much anymore. Jupiter is about seeing the bigger vision of things. So we get a big vision of our situation on the 20th of June when the summer solstice comes in, the sun at 0 degrees of Cancer. This is a time to adjust, but also to know that Cancer is a time to initiate. Cancer is an interesting energy where it almost feels like we want to go inside. There's an inside, quiet space that Cancer loves to nurture and to have available. And so finding this place, finding what it is that nurtures you, where are these safe spaces for you? They're exemplified right now. They're being blown up because Jupiter's in Cancer and is blowing up all of the Cancerian themes. So where are your safe spaces? How are you creating a safe space for others around you? Do other people feel safe around you? Things to think about if that's a priority for you. The summer solstice, when the sun moves to 0 degrees of Cancer, is a new cycle point. It's a reset for the earth energy. It's a time, the solstices and the equinoxes, when the energies of nature are vibrating. So if you can get out onto the great earth mother, this Cancer solstice, and just feel into that. Feel the energies that are coming through, and feel the intuition from Jupiter in Cancer and from Mars in Virgo. Virgo's, to me, it's a mothering sign. Also, it's a feminine energy. So we get the intuition from the mother. They're also being just like zapping our physical bodies. And then a couple more squares that kind of finish out the week. The sun comes through and makes that square to Saturn on the 22nd. So a little bit of a tough day, getting a reality check on this day. There's also Mars in a sextile to Jupiter on the 22nd. And that just means that there's going to be huge energies. Mars and Jupiter are the two biggest energies in of all the planets. And so these two making a sextile, it's a very easy flowing aspect, very harmonious for just big energy. So it could be kind of a big reality check that day. And then the sun squares Neptune on the 23rd. So we could be, coming to some more adjustments about the dreams and of that, Neptune is now wanting to take action on in Aries, and how that's going to be coming into our reality and how that's going to be playing in our personal identity. Our personal identities are changing a bit here. We have new paradigms taking place and big, big shifts that we really need to be leaning into and continuing to feel out and working towards creating the most benevolent outcome in our lives. And that will continue to manifest the greatest and highest, most benevolent outcome for all. So thank you so much for being tuned in here on KPOV and to the Cosmic Community Astrology with the Galactic Ambassador, Stacy Dredd. And I hope you have an amazing solstice. Chat with you again very soon. Take care. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.